Welcome everybody to Plowshare's first ever virtual event. Obviously this year has been difficult on the small business community and especially on nonprofits. So when this came about and we realized that we weren't going to be able to have our traditional live fundraisers that we really love so much, we thought, okay, plan B, what are we going to do? And we thought, we've been here for over 3 decades, and why not celebrate all that we've done within those 3 decades? So let's take a little walk down memory lane. We're going to talk about our beginnings, who we are, what we're about, all the things that Plowshare does within our community. And at the end, we are going to be presenting our Peace Builder Award and also our Volunteer of the Year Award. So be sure to stay tuned for that because that's exciting stuff, and we want to be able to recognize everyone who helps make our community great.
Kate Delaney Jolin is creative. She and her husband began planting this prairie garden at their home in the late 1980s.
It means a lot to us because we like the idea of being in touch with our bioregion, as they say, having the native plants, which then attract insects and who need those particular kinds of plants and seeds, the birds, the butterflies, all of that.
At the same time that Kate and her husband were planting this garden, she and a friend, Alice Foley, were educating others about peace as the country was celebrating the end of the Cold War. Together, they and 6 other founding board members decided to create the Waukesha Center for Peace and Justice in 1989 as a learning resource for the community. They opened this center in a small room in this building, while also dreaming of a fair trade shop. They received $5,000 from Harriet Steele, a Waukesha peace activist, who shared their vision. The organization is now called Plowshare Fair Trade Marketplace and Education for Peace. The shop on West Main Street supports the organization's peace education efforts while ensuring that artisans across the world are paid fairly for their products. The organization has had 4 goals over the years, Kate says: working for nonviolent solutions to problems, peacemaking at all of its levels, social justice, including economic justice for all people, and personal transformation.
We just met some of our founders who all had a dream, a unified dream of peace and education and having this amazing fair trade store. We were the first fair trade store in Wisconsin, brick and mortar fair trade store in Wisconsin. We opened our doors in 1990, and we are blessed to still be here 3 decades later, sharing fair trade with our community.
Hi, welcome to Plowshare. Is there anything we can help you with today? Hello.
The shop is a rainbow of colors. The items come from all over the world: Vietnam, Cameroon, Bangladesh, and are made by people who receive a fair price for their labor. Work sites must be clean and materials sustainable. Stories about the artisans and their work are part of the shopping experience.
They actually employ chronically unemployable women, and what they do is they teach them the skills to not only get a job, but to retain the job. The awesome part is that 1 year later, 93% of these women are still employed. So they are from Ghana, and the local women supplement family income by weaving bulga baskets, which are hand woven using locally grown straw. So the sales from the baskets actually help provide health care, education, and financial support to over 1,000 villagers. So these are our steel oil drum art. Every single one of them is different. Lots of them will have a signature by an artisan somewhere on them. One of my favorite pieces is going to be this one. It's actually a moon and a sun together. So my name means sun, Kira, and I always tell my daughter that I love her to the moon and back.
So I just want to touch a little bit more on the artisans that make these amazing fair trade products. Most of our artisans are women, and the majority of them are working in fair trade co-ops all around the globe. So these fair trade co-ops are providing safe working conditions, typical working hours, they're free from harassment, all kinds of great things. And what I love about our products is they all have stories behind them. Not only can you find Plowshare at 219 West Main Street in historic downtown Waukesha, but you can also find us at the Waukesha Farmers Market, May through October. And we often do off-sites during the holiday season, where we'll take our merchandise to other locations like churches, community groups, and schools. When you come into Plowshare, not only are you traveling around the world, but you're also learning about these artisans, the traditional crafts that we are preserving through fair trade. And so, in a sense, our shop is also an arm of the educational outreach programs that Plowshare puts on, expanding our footprint of fair trade in our communities.
That's my favorite type of chocolate.
So $10.53 is your total. Would you like to round the 47 cents up? It would go towards our educational outreach.
Of course.
Awesome, thank you. So 11 even.
Buy something from Plowshare, and that's the question you'll hear when checking out.
Yep, and then scan it right there.
Rounding up brings in money that's used to underwrite education about peace and justice. For example, Plowshare has partnered with Carroll University to bring in nationally known speakers for students and the community. Dr. Ira Helfand is co-president of Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War. He warned the community about the dangers of the nuclear arms race. Anthony Shadid, seen here with his daughter, earned Pulitzer Prizes for his news reporting. He spoke about the importance of peace in the Middle East to Carroll University students and community members. They were invited to meet for a Middle Eastern dinner with Shadid before the presentation. Former CIA agent and author Philip Agee told the audience about the agency's dirty secrets and their impact.
And I would be the last person to say that we don't need an intelligence service in the United States. We need an intelligence service in the United States, but we need one that is used to keep the peace, not one that is used to wage terrorist war against defenseless peasants in Central America.
Plowshare also sponsors forums with local speakers, documentary film showings, and book study groups. It also partners with other community organizations like the Waukesha County Anti-Sex Trafficking Task Force, working to find solutions to social problems. Plowshare's education effort over the years has been eclectic and engaging, with a healthy measure of fun mixed in. Plowshare also brings a message of peace and fair trade to schools. Students from STEM Saratoga visited the shop to learn about fair trade.
And then they went back over to the campus and did their projects. They created their own artisan fair, of fair trade products that they designed, and they researched, and just did a beautiful job of learning about fair trade and then creating their own products to be able to share with their peers.
There are 10 fair trade principles that come into play when learning about fair trade. One of them, the 9th principle, is about promoting fair trade. So again, reaching out to our community, promoting fair trade, and educating everyone about it. If you want to learn more about fair trade and the principles behind it, go to our website. The address is below us on the screen. And once you've taken a look at those fair trade principles, maybe you can participate too in number 9 by promoting fair trade to others. Plowshare has been in this historic downtown for 3 decades, during which time we've built some amazing relationships with other small businesses. What's great about our creative downtown is some of the specialty shops, giving you a reason to come on down and support our small business community.
Downtown Waukesha has its own personality, historic and welcoming. It's experienced a renaissance during the last 20 years, after it was left behind by suburban malls, like so many other small downtowns in the last half of the 20th century. Larry Nelson is a former mayor of Waukesha and now serves on the county board. He says Plowshare is an anchor store on the city's main street and has contributed to the downtown business district's economic health.
To have a unique store like Plowshare where you can do socially responsible shopping and with every purchase literally help to make a better world is incredible. And I think that's part of our success and why we have survived when many other fair trade stores have gone out of business.
Being a good neighbor means participating in community life. Plowshare has been part of community events for more than 3 decades.
I think Waukesha is the 7th largest city in the state of Wisconsin, yet once you've lived in Waukesha for a while, it's kind of has the virtues of a small town where you get to know a lot of people and people know you and people are very friendly.
typically at this time of the year, Plowshare is in full swing on getting our fashion show fundraiser together. Obviously, with the year that we've had, we're unable to have our typical fashion show. So we thought, let's show you some examples of things that we've done in the past, and then also show you how we put some of these fabulous fair trade looks together. Early fashion shows were held at the store to demonstrate how the pieces from all over the world could be put together to create truly eclectic ensembles. Then, in 2011, the fashion show became a centerpiece in our annual fundraising. The shows have celebrated models of all ages and of different ethnic backgrounds. Your generosity at these fashion shows, wine pulls, and silent auctions have kept Plowshare going for more than 3 decades. COVID has pushed this year's fashion show off the calendar. While we can't be together in person, we thought you might enjoy a peek at how the looks are created.
There's a lot of things that we take into consideration. What are the new fashions that have come out from different designers? What are we carrying in our store? What's new? What's hip? Another thing we look at is what accessories are going to go with it. From the jewelry to the purse, down to even accessories like a scarf. So we take all those things into consideration, and then we also look at our individual models. What are they comfortable with? So we'll usually have them come in and try a different outfit or two on and see which one do they like best. What do they feel comfortable with? Which one do they rock? Example, this dress we had in our latest fashion show. So we'll try on different accessories, like this purse, for example. It's got the nice blues in it, but maybe it's a little bit too busy, too big for this dress. What about finding one with color that's a little smaller? So then maybe one that goes over the shoulder. Still a little too busy. What about trying something like a macrame purse? And I think this is the one we ended up going with. Either this one or the clutch. So then is my favorite part, which is the accessories. So earrings, necklaces, bracelets. Usually we'll take some of these different materials like the kantha and go, okay, so how does this look? Or we'll try tagua nut. Or do we want to go with something with a little less color? So something like that, and bam, that is gorgeous. And that's actually what we ended up using.
Some additional things that we have going on with this fundraiser, as I mentioned early on, is we have a silent auction. So hopefully you guys have had a chance to take a look at these amazing silent auction items all week long. The silent auction is going to close 30 minutes after the end of this program, so 8:30. So be sure to make those final bids if you need to. The other thing that we have, again, is for every $25 that you donate to Plowshare, you get 1 entry into winning this fabulous Fair Trade Fall Basket. First, it's got one of our flex bowls. It's got some felted dryer balls, pumpkin candle, little kantha elephant, 2 of our favorite spice grinders, beautiful tagua jewelry set, some kantha, some soapstone hearts, and a Mr. Elipu journal. Our Peace Builder Award is given to individuals and organizations who have made significant contributions to peace and justice in southeastern Wisconsin. Some previous recipients of our Peace Builder Award are organizations like Sophia, the Women's Center, Waukesha County Green Team, and ACAP. This year's recipient as an individual is Judith Williams.
Judith Williams spent her life working to better the lives of others. Most recently, she lived here as the director of the Waukesha Catholic Worker House, providing shelter for people seeking medical treatment. Novelist Laura Denoyer lives across the street. She's written several stories about her long friendship with Judith, a fellow cat lover whom she describes as the neighborhood St. Francis of Assisi.
whenever she took care of my cats always got the VIP treatment. When I would go over to take care of her cats, she always had bird seed on the table, and part of the instructions were that I had to feed the squirrels and the birds every day of the year, whichever season it was, it didn't matter. We still had to get that food out there for the birds and the squirrels.
Judith spent most Sunday mornings here in the Waukesha County Jail, worshiping with inmates. She herself had served 6 months in a federal prison in Illinois after being arrested for protesting American involvement in Latin America at the School of the Americas. She got the idea to develop a jail ministry while in prison, according to Kate Jolin.
And she just truly felt like one of them because she knew what it felt like. And she treated people with such total respect and equality. Just had such hope for them.
Judith could be found at weekly peace vigils near the city's public library on Sundays at noon. Terry Hess also participated. He says Judith was his piano teacher and also a friend.
For the most part, you're just standing there holding a sign. Either you're freezing every part of your body off or you're hot, but you get to know people. And and everybody's different. And everybody's doing it for a different reason, but it becomes like a little community.
Judith also worked for Peace and Justice internationally, with a focus on Nicaragua. She used a small inheritance to build a new school in that country, replacing a rundown structure that had a dirt floor. The school is in a mountain area, in the impoverished village of Jiquilite. The school opened and was dedicated in 2013. Judith named it after her parents. She arranged to have the school built with the help of this man, fellow peace activist Dr. Arnie Matlin.
That whole hamlet of Jiquilite was changed forever by Judith Williams. That was miraculous. Projects in Nicaragua start off really well, and they go and then they peter out, and this didn't. This project went from A to B to C to D, and it was done. This was a miracle. My theory is that she was a saint.
Plowshare couldn't do all that we do without you guys and your help as volunteers. In 2016, we started our Sally Jo Michalko Volunteer of the Year Award. If any of you knew Sally, she was one of those people that had an infectious energy and positivity. So who better to encourage our volunteers than Sally Jo Michalko? We're going to announce this year's recipient in just a few minutes. In the meantime, let's meet a few of our volunteers.
Alice Lundstrom has been a long-time volunteer at Plowshare. She created this Plowshare Scarecrow, a lady gardener who poses outside the shop and says to anyone who passes by, "Hey, let's make our downtown fun in the fall."
I don't have very much experience with scarecrows, really. So this is a real experiment, you know. How do you make the legs and the arms and the torso, and yeah. She's missing her boots, but they have to go on between the wood slats, and I'd have to cut the zip tie and then put boots in and then reattach it. So she's shoeless right now. She's in the garden barefoot. This is a Plowshare's basket too. I was wondering. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I bought a basket for this, yeah.
Michelle Mader is co-president of the All-Volunteer Board of Directors. She says hundreds of volunteers, like Alice, have participated in Plowshare over the years.
You know, one of the things that I love the most about Plowshare is that I've gotten to know so many people from the community that I wouldn't have crossed paths with otherwise, and you know, generally really nice, really committed people who care about the organization, care about social justice. So that's, you know, been just something that's been great.
Sari Labotsky is Plowshare's 2020 Volunteer of the Year. She works in the store once a week. She was placed at Plowshare by an organization that helps disabled citizens gain education and life skills.
Sari has been volunteering with us for, I think, about 5 years. We do a lot of counting, right?
Yep.
Sorting and organizing.
Yes.
And then labeling bags. And those are
Yes.
Sari's favorite things to do
Yes.
while volunteering here at Plowshare.
Yes.
So, Sari, we would like to present you with the Sally Jo Michalko Volunteer of the Year Award.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're always looking for volunteers, so if you're interested in learning more about our various opportunities, you can go to our website and go to our volunteer page. Not only can you volunteer to help our organization, but you can help contribute financially. Our goal is to raise $15,000 by the end of the year to remain financially healthy. You can donate a couple of ways. We have an online donation securely through PayPal. You can print out a donation form and mail it in. Call us over the phone. Any way that you want to donate, Plowshare is happy to accept. My favorite way for you to support Plowshare is to come to our global marketplace and do some shopping. We've got some great holiday items in stock and ready for you guys. So not only are you supporting Plowshare, you're supporting these global artisans all around the world. If you're not comfortable coming into the marketplace, we do have a new online shop, which is very exciting. We've got some great products on there. So be sure to shop with Plowshare this holiday season. We want to thank you for joining us for our first ever virtual fundraising event. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope to see you this holiday season.